Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday, and on Friday, we talk tech in English. So we are so looking forward to having this conversation with you today. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. We like to start Fridays with This Week in Tech. And so we are going to talk about a few articles over here on the app that we use this day in tech history. So today, Google files for incorporation. Larry Page and Sergey filed incorporation papers for Google in California. Filing on a Friday, the date of official incorporation will be marked as Monday, September 7th, starting out as a privately held company. Ooh, what if we had got in on the IPO 6 years after that on August the 19th, 2004? Where would we be today? We'd be sitting somewhere on a beach. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the program. Let us know if you're in here. We'd like to give you a shout out this morning. The next article is the first commercial hard drive. Oh my gosh, if you could see how big this storage is. On September 4th, 1956, the IBM Disk Storage Unit Model 1 was announced, which was the first commercial storage unit to use magnetic disk storage, the technology behind hard disk drives, about the size of 2 refrigerators. Now we just clip that little thing in the side that looks almost like a credit card holder, and we can save our files. How you doing this morning, Tim? Hey, Pat. We got Texas and North Carolina in the house. Um, Tim, we miss you. How you doing? It's so good to see you this morning. Yes, yes. So we hope to have Fran and Tachi and TJ in here shortly. We're looking forward to hearing from them and what they have to say this morning. I want you to know that on September 3rd, 1995, eBay, yes, eBay, the auction site, was launched as an auction web by Pierre. The first item sold was a broken laser pointer, remember? It wasn't actually intended to sell, but rather to test the new site. It started as a hobby, and they were surprised that the item sold for $14.83. So after that, he said, "Look, why did he contacted the actual purchaser? That's why he based. I'm a collector of broken laser pointers." uh, wow! From that point on, that $14.83 has proven to make the founder a billionaire. Oh my gosh, a billionaire off of a broken laser pointer. So look here, guys. Do not despise small beginnings is the message that we have here. Do not despise small beginnings. Let's talk about the first search engine. Oh, Google. We just talked about them. Whatever happened to what was the one? Earth something. Anyway, there have been several Bing. There's several search engines other than just Google. Okay, there's Safari. There's etc. Okay, so let's talk about this. September 2nd, 1993, the world's first premier web search engine um, is started, known as W3 Catalog or CUI www Catalog. It was started by Oscar at the Center of University and Information. This search site lasted for about 3 years before more modernized search engines began appearing. They couldn't find an actual picture of it uh, to show you, so it's still really generic, really raw. Okay. Okay. So now I do want to say that there's one more. article that I want to talk about, and that is the English scientist Michael Faraday discovers electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction is the primary principle behind electric motors and electric generators, two very important inventions that power and drive our electronic technology today. Also, we've had, and that was in, pardon me, let me get the date here, August 29th, 1831. You know, some of these things that we're still using are so powerful. They start so small. So I say that to say if you have started a business and it doesn't seem like it's um, a $1 billion business, you never know. It could just be that broken laser pointer with some little nugget stuck inside of it, some principle that can just blow up into something really, really big, guys. So do not despise small beginnings is the lesson I want us to learn from this. Now, let's get on to what's happening in tech. I want to go to I've got a couple of articles here from The Verge. Just let me pull them up here. Guys, how you doing today? How are you doing? I'm fabulous, and I hope you are. What are you doing to stay sane in all of this wonderfulness that's going on? I want to say that one of the things that I was looking at was the fact that Peloton, am I pronouncing that right? The little bike. Someone help me pronounce that. Penetron, the one with the cycles and the treadmills and that you do from home. I want to talk about them today because they made an announcement that I thought was really interesting. They have decided to up their bike game. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. I was talking about what is it? What is the name of that bike? Python? How do you pronounce that?
Patreon?
Not page. It's not pronounced Patreon. It's a bike where you can see yourself and you can compete with everybody.
Oh yeah, it's Peloton. Peloton.
Thank you. They have decided to up their game. They are coming up with a better treadmill.
Okay.
So the price of their treadmills is going up, and the price one is going up and one is going down. I think the cost of the bike is going down, and the cost of the treadmill is going up for for these. What's the name of your bike, Fran? It starts with a P.
Echelon.
Yes, they have upped their game um, in the what do you call it, cycling world. They've decided.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've added a new bike and they're adding a new treadmill. And I think the bike is going to cost less and the treadmill is going to cost more. And they're both going to say one's going to be the plus, the more expensive one, and
Mm-hmm.
the other's going to be just the regular one.
Okay.
So they can appeal to more people. So they went
And
from 4,000 some dollars to 3,000. And
you mean okay? I think you're talking about Peloton.
yes,
Peloton, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because Peloton is $3,000. My bike wasn't $3,000.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Peloton, I was like, mm-mm. And okay, so I was like, wait, okay, so Peloton is bringing out new stuff. There are a lot of people because they can't get to the gym. A lot
Yes.
of the gyms are selling the bikes for people to do it at home. So
Right. And then I
And
think with Peloton, they also have a separate subscription service where you don't need the bike. But it's a
right,
different thing from the bike.
because they
right.
have
I have
yoga
that.
and other things going on.
I have
Mhm.
that on with Echelon Fit. I get that.
Mhm.
I have whole
Okay.
fit pass. You can do yoga, not P90, but yoga, hit training,
Okay.
kickboxing. You
Okay.
can do all of that. You don't have to have the bike for that.
Right.
You can work at home. And and then they have a rower. I'm not doing all of that, but
and don't forget there's the new mirror.
Yes,
is it Lululemon?
Concept.
And a lot of people are. I think I've seen 3 different companies. Peloton has one. Has one. It's called Reflect.
Okay.
And where you can see your form while you're working out with the other person.
And the instructors in the, it's like FaceTime, the instructors in the little window, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I wanted you to know that they have that going on right now.
Right.
And there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I've lost my train of thought here. But I know what it was. That, keeping up with all these subscriptions. Oh my gosh, that there are apps that actually help you keep up with these subscriptions because, they're starting to creep in and nickel and dime us. You know what I mean? We're paying for storage. We're paying for Netflix. We're paying for the different things within Netflix. We're paying for Apple TV, and then we can sign up within there for HBO and da 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 da. And the next thing you know, you've got all these different little.
You want to buy your bill.
I told you subscription is the big thing now. It's not even with remember in the App Store you could buy an app for one price and then you owned it and you got all up. They don't do that anymore. They give it to you for free and then you have to pay the pro version per year.
Right.
There you go.
In apps, yeah. So that's the new thing that the new monetization model, because the newspapers are doing it. You no longer get the free articles. You have to pay. They've all discovered it.
So there are a couple of apps to help you track that. One is called Trim. The other is Track My Subs.
Mm-hmm.
And so
because you forget,
and that's the principle. You forget.
And if you do stuff with Apple through the App Store, if you do subscriptions in there, there's a place in there, but you gotta hunt and peck and find it and tap, and there's your subscriptions.
Now, so if you want to know where it is, if you have an Apple phone, you can go into your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And on the settings page, let me see if I can show you. You go here where your ID is right there.
Right. You go through your ID.
Yep. You tap on that, and then you go down here to iTunes App Store. No, you don't have to go that far. Once you get to that part, you go down. It says name, phone number, email, password and security, payment and shipping, subscriptions.
Yep.
And then you go right there and you can settle all that. Be like, oh, no, I don't want that. And it tells you which ones are active. It tells you which ones have expired. And some of them will try and come back and say, hey, we're still here. So they'll tell you which ones are active and which ones are expired. And you can do it from the phone.
Okay, so I'm going I see passwords and accounts. Is that what I tap on?
No, you go here to the very first under settings and then go to where your face is.
Yeah, that's your Apple ID.
All right.
Yeah, go to Apple ID and scroll down to subscription.
Subscriptions, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Now that's on. We can't help you if you got a subscription on YouTube somewhere else. This is just if you subscribe through Apple.
And so that's one of the reasons why these apps have been developed. And Trim will let you list the different ones. Of course, but here's the deal. There's a cost for the app. You have to track the payments, okay, on this particular one. Of course, there's always a 14-day free trial. But
so it's another subscription.
Yes, you understand the irony of the whole thing?
So I have a subscription to help you manage your subscriptions.
Exactly.
I have a subscription to manage a subscription. But you know, we're laughing, but people will get that because if you sign up for so many things, you forget.
It's just to have them in one place, you know what I mean, and not to have your own spreadsheet.
Well, see, the thing I do with free trials, that I will put a notice on I will put a reminder on one of the assistants. I will put it on my calendar. So, and 2 days before, it'll pop up like 2 days before and say, "Oh, this free trial is ending," and so I can decide if I want to keep it or not. But that's what I do personally, because I'm like, I'm not. Some of them will say, "Oh, we'll send you an email before we charge you." And one of the magazines said that they would do that, and they didn't send me an email, and they charged me. And I'm like, what the heck? So they were like, "Oh, you can't stop the subscription. You can't get a refund."
Really?
Yeah. They was like, "Oh, we sent you an email before saying we were." I said, "No, I never received the email. I saved all my emails. I didn't see an email." "Oh, well, we don't issue refunds. Sorry." So I'm stuck with the thing until November, but I canceled it.
Okay.
So you have to be careful.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
You have to be careful with subscriptions and free trials, and make a note yourself. Don't rely on them to let you know before they charge your card. I make a note in all my little assistants and the calendar and everything.
So you can go old school. You can go old school. Go back and get you a let's see,
a pad and a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in your planner. What is it?
There you go. There you go.
Composition book. Put a name on it.
Yep. Subscription.
Put the passwords in there and them subscriptions, and when they expire, you can do it old school if they,
I had something pop up today. I was like, "What the heck is that?" And then I was like, "Oh, so it's a reminder." I set a reminder for 11 o'clock, and I was like, "Oh, it just, your assistant will just talk." But there's several ways. Just make sure before the end of the trial period or the subscription renews itself.
All of that. Because like getting a subscription, especially with domain names that you bought and you're not using. Or hosting that you bought and you're not using, because you want to know where this $400 bill came from.
Right.
And you're like, if you don't have them all in one place, you really don't realize that you've got mission creep going on with these costs. These little costs, and you can't figure out why your budget's just out of control. And it ends up being like $300. You got internet costs, you got a boosted router cost, you got, you know what I'm saying?
Claudia has a really good thing. She says, yes, and beware of companies that do not let you cancel subscriptions online, but they make you call them or send an email request.
Right, because they want to resell you. They want to say, "Oh, why do you want to unsubscribe today?" And you tell them why, and their sales rep will go, "Oh, but did you know we have this special? Did you know that
people, the retention?"
Yeah, the cable used to do. They still do probably all the time. Mm-hmm.
And that's why the cable company I told them, I said, "Okay, what is the one that I'm not on a promotion? I don't want to be on your promotion, because every year it would go up, and then you have to go in there and haggle and negotiate with them every year." I said, "What is the non-negotiable price where I can just have the service and I don't have to deal with it?" And I got that.
With the annual thing.
Yeah, and I got that, and so now my service is locked at a certain rate. Right. And then you'll get calls, "Hey, you can add entertainment, and hey, if you do, it'll knock you out of that and put you back in that rat race."
Right. Stop. And see, everybody's not as nice as Disney, because I got an email the other day. Disney, "Oh, your subscription is going to be up in November." So they're telling me now, but everybody's not going to be as nice as, and I think Tidal, the music subscription, they do it too. They send you an email way in advance saying that, you know, your trial is up or, you know, whatever. But a lot of apps and software and things you sign, they're just going to charge you because they want to keep you as the customer. So they're not, you know, so I'm saying this one thing that I had, it put a sour taste in my mouth because I'm like, you guys said you were going to email me before you charged me and you didn't. So now I'm like, I'm going to talk bad about you guys.
We don't trust you anymore.
Yeah, we don't trust you. You're not as nice as Disney and Tidal and all these other ones that, you know, send you a reminder. Your annual subscription is up or your this is up. Do you want to renew? Those are the kind of companies that are the businesses that are secure in their strategy and the service they offer and the customer relationship they have versus the ones that, you know, blindside you to keep you as a customer. But that just makes me angry. That makes you angry, and you go, I'm going to talk bad about you everywhere instead of I'm going to talk great about Disney because, hey, they let you know months in advance. So
well, I just want you to know that there is help out there. If you don't want to go through all of that or you don't want to think it through, just put them all on the app and let the app do the work for you. Because some people don't even know that help is available. So I wanted to let you know that there is help, folks. if you're getting mission creep with all of these different subscription services. Okay, so that's what I have today. Where are we going now? We're going to Twitter.
Okay, so it's social media time. I got a jingle. Okay, so I got my notes this week. Found them. All right, so this week is social media doing the wrap up. I'm going to start with the smallest thing, and you know, I always leave the biggest thing for last because we're going to have a big discussion about it. But Twitter is doing little tiny things, little tweaks to their app. So now Twitter is going to have automated captions for audio and video. Okay, so they're trying to improve accessibility because, you know, they had now they have that audio feature where you can do audio only. You can do audio tweets on Twitter and you don't have to type it. So this is all for accessibility for those who need those kind of features. So they're not leaving everyone out of the loop. Okay, so that's what Twitter is doing. It's you know, that's good.
That's a good thing. That's a commendable
that's good. And they do it. They're also doing this because I know with video on social media apps and stuff, the recommendation is to always have captions for those, you know, people who need that. And also people, if the sound isn't on, people are going to keep scrolling. So all of that's tied up together. All right. So you want to have things to make people, you know, to make it easier to consume content. So Twitter's looking out.
I like the way you said that. Make it easier to consume content.
Make it easier. You don't want to make people work hard, and you also have to not leave out certain segments of society. That group always seems to get left out, even though there's laws for accessibility for websites and stuff. But people still, you know, do what they're doing, and you know, the government comes in and finds the website or the company. It happens all the time. So just be kind and care about everybody and say, hey, you know, does someone with hearing disabilities, can they see this? Or someone with this kind of thing that they need extra help, make sure they get the help. So Twitter's doing that. So we're happy with that. Thank you, Twitter. And we'll see what's going on with them next.
Good job, Twitter.
Okay, so Instagram. Instagram is doing some more testing in India. So, you know, Instagram, they tested Reels in India. They tested all their lasso and all kind of things they had. That's their testing ground, India and Brazil. So now the key to this is India does not have TikTok. Remember that. So India banned TikTok. So Instagram is using this to their advantage. They are replacing the Explore tab with Reels. So you know when you go into Instagram and you click the magnifying glass for search and you see all kind of different things, now you're going to see You're still going to have the Explore tab. It's just that the tabs are moving positions. So the Reels tab is going to be at the bottom. They're focused on Reels, and they're moving the Explore tab. That if you love using the Explore tab, they're going to move it to the top of the app, out of the way. So it's not going to be at the bottom. So they're pushing Reels for everyone to use it.
They just keep moving.
Does that make sense?
I just
yeah, they keep moving the cheese.
I'm just exhausted with their moves.
So that's what they're saying. The Reels section appears where the Explorer used to be, and the Explorer section has moved to the top right corner of the app next to the inbox. So they're testing that in India, Germany, France, and Brazil. So if you're used to using Instagram and you automatically, without thinking, look at the bottom and you tap the Explore tab to search for something, just know that it's going to be Reels there. So if you're not a lover of Reels, you're going to be like,
oh my gosh. Okay.
But it's not in the United States. It's still, the Explorer is on the bottom. It's still there, but just be on the lookout. So, and I'm going to say a little bit about that is that there's a little story that Mark Zuckerberg, the bug in the ear of the government about TikTok. So they're trying to knock out the competition and bring their thing to the forefront. So that's where this comes from. The flim flam. They're trying to move. Hey, Tachi. They're trying to move things out of the way because, a lot of people do things by rote, by habit. And so.
Oh, you mean we expect the furniture to be in the same place?
Yeah. There's furniture. So if you just go on Instagram and you tap, I'm going to Explore, and you tap it, you say, what the heck is all these Reels? That's what happened.
Okay. Thank you. Because I would have been freaked out. I was like, what?
But it's not here yet. It's, Brazil and then they're India, and they're testing ground.
Well, we know that these things tend to migrate over here.
Well, that's what happened. Yeah, it's going to come over here. It's going to come over eventually because, Zuckerberg has this bee in the bonnet about TikTok. TikTok's on shaky ground. We don't know what's going on. So he's taking advantage of the situation to say, hey, look at this thing I got over here. You might want to check it out. Yeah. And we're like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
I know Tanya would like that. I know she would like that. No thanks. No thanks, Zuck.
I still cannot figure out how that works. You go over there and it says Reels, and I'm like, it's not easy to figure out.
See, this is the deal about Reels. We have Instagram business accounts. Most of us here have it, but most of the people out there have regular non-business or creator.
Oh,
right. Their setup is a little different. Like, I don't have music. I'm still mad about that. So I can't do anything with music, which is what TikTok is about. You can put music on your videos and get attention. So my Reels have to be spoken word or whatever. So that's the deal with the Reels, is that if you have an Instagram business account, you kind of like limited. And then it's also confusing. A lot of people said it's confusing because there's a limit, and then once you get to the limit, Reels doesn't tell you. It just automatically cuts off and goes back into another view of the app, and you're going, what the heck? Tell me that I'm almost my
put a counter on there or something.
Put a counter, a pop-up. It doesn't tell you that your queue is filled.
That's too much like right.
I'm sitting there figuring it out, and I was like, well, how come it just jumped to a screen? It didn't even tell me.
You're out, girl. You're out. Stay out.
And then it says you save as a draft, and then you go, well, where the heck are the drafts? I'm like, you know what?
No, they're not meant to find them. I mean, you are asking for sense and sensibility from nonsensical people.
Yes. And they want to. I don't know if they want to take the place of TikTok, but you can't take the place of that because that's a different thing. You're offering me apples when I wanted oranges. I'm like,
And can I do it somewhere else other than in my living room? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you got to come into the living room to do when this should be in a whole different room, like a den? I mean, it's a fun thing. Just
So
make another app.
I think Facebook's strategy is they're going to sit around and wait for the thing that happens with TikTok, because they were the ones that instigated it with who put a bug in his ear. Oh, so they instigated that to their advantage. And now they're going to sit and wait and see what happens with TikTok. And then, we got Reels over here. I'm like,
it will go the way of last show. Whatever happened to last show, we ain't seen that. So it's going to go that same way because Facebook hasn't even got the regular
stuff under control.
The regular
Facebook is the master. Facebook is the master of none.
We love them. Okay, Facebook.
Yeah. And they're giving me
crabby
when I'm real crabby. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so that we're done with Facebook.
Say that again. It broke up. What you just said? It broke up.
Who, me?
Yeah.
We're done with Facebook right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I said we're done. Yeah. Moving on. Let them do whatever they're doing. They're also doing some things with political ads, but I don't want to touch on that.
Want to go down there. Go down the road.
I don't. So they're doing things. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to TikTok. There's some not gigantic news. There's just some more news that there was supposed to be a deal announced Tuesday, but it wasn't announced because China now has put another roadblock up and say they have a new rule. And the new rule is that they don't. Well, wait a minute. Here it is. That they have put a new rule on their export control. Their export control rules to restrict the sale of technology to recommend videos to users, i.e., the algorithm. So
you're gonna have to say that one more time. Say that again.
Okay. All right. So China, Chinese government has now entered into putting up a roadblock for the sale of TikTok to either Walmart / Microsoft or Oracle. China is saying that they have a new export control rule that they want to restrict the sale of technology such as the one used by TikTok to recommend videos to users, i.e. the algorithm. So they're saying, let's break this down. China is now saying, we're not allowing the sale of any technology that is similar to the one used by TikTok, which is why TikTok is so popular. It recommends custom videos to you. China is saying that's proprietary and it's not for sale. So they're saying you can buy TikTok, but you can't buy the algorithm.
Okay. Okay, so now, in other words, it's two governments fighting over that.
Yeah, and remember now, our government did something with Huawei. They restricted some highway. Yeah. They restricted some sale there a few months back. Came from our government to China, so now China is hitting us back saying, "Oh, you can buy TikTok, but you can't buy the thing. You can't buy the engine that makes TikTok run.
Something makes it go.
You can buy the frame. You can buy the frame, but you can't buy the engine."
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
nah.
Well, I mean that's almost like that's what you get.
So this has been like a clown car.
Definitely.
The car pulls up and clown after clown after clown.
It's just crazy.
And clown is coming out. Everything's on pause now. But 45 over there still has this big clock of this is the countdown for the ban. So here we go. Confusing, yes. Unexpected, no. I expected the Chinese government to say something. They weren't just gonna lay down and sell it. Like, no, they're like, yeah, you can buy TikTok, but you can't buy the algorithm.
And see, because the Chinese government is controlling everything over there, some people are like, why can't the people just sell their company if they want to?
They
because it's not on
the way it works. They can't. They can't. They must have approval from the company. So this is the morass. This is the thing, the swamp that we in. Clown Cars coming out. 45 talking about he want his piece of the pie, his kickback for the government, and
you know what I don't understand. I don't understand why Twitter doesn't just go and reenact Vine and just let people do their thing.
Because that ship has sailed.
No, I mean it can sail back in.
No. I mean, as far they have sold it, they cannot go back. They cannot create a new Vine. The water just. Mm-hmm.
The guy that owns Byte used to work with Vine, so Byte is still out there. He probably needs to change the word.
Byte is rising because of all this TikTok uncertainty. Yeah. Byte the app is rising. Triller, Dub Smash. There'll be another app because of the attention to this app. So more attention brings more people to the party. It's gonna be like, well, you know what? Everybody loves TikTok. I bet you I can make me an app just like TikTok. So you've got more players on the field now.
All right.
Wait. I'm sorry. I keep when you said that, it reminded me of that song. I'm building me a home.
Girl, stop.
Listen, it's not that difficult to create an app. It's just that you need it to become popular. People are making new apps all the time. Mm-hmm. It's just that, TikTok is a hit because it hit all the right buttons, and it's because of the algorithm. Like I said, when you go in, it shows you what you want and makes you happy. And that's why TikTok is so popular that now Teespring has an integration. This is another part of it.
Yes.
Teespring has an integration with TikTok to let the influencers sell merch.
So I'm wondering with that, where that's going to go. I really don't, at the end of the day, I don't see this whole supposed shutdown being as big as people are purporting it to be. I think that even if something does happen, it will still live on in some way in other countries, and there are workarounds. Remember, you can just change your country and operate as if you're in Canada or something like that. So, I don't see this being the death of, but I'm wondering what that means, that now that you've integrated Teespring, what that means, That's going to mean
that their business strategy is we're going to act like nothing is going to happen, and we're going to keep building our business, and they're making the creators and the influencers happy. That's what they're doing. They're saying, well, we're going to keep rowing this boat until damn the torpedoes. We're gonna go forward.
And I think I can't blame them for that strategy, but I would just also caution creators not to wait until the last minute to decide, I want to get in the life raft.
Right. I'm jumping off the ship. Yeah.
Right. So that means not put all the eggs not put all your eggs in
the eggs in the basket strategy works everywhere. Not even but
so go get your account on Byte.
Yeah. Yes. Triller, Dub Smash.
Got one on Reels, but Reels is not easy.
No. I think also that you have to consider the bandwidth that you have in order to do all these things. Now, I get physical bandwidth, but also mental bandwidth. Exactly. There is a lot to this. And even though you could just say, well, I'm just going to repurpose content, that's still repurposing content several different times on all of these apps. And it still takes time. So you have to decide whether or not you could do that, whether or not your audience is there. Are you consistent? Are you going to be able to take the time to spend to build on a Triller, to build on or is this because you can't just be posting stuff? You also need to engage. That's what social media is about. So you have to say, do I have the bandwidth to be able to maintain all of these different platforms efficiently?
Yes. Exactly. You're absolutely right. And then you have to work. Does your audience from TikTok want to come over to Dub Smash or Trilla and download a new app? That's another thing.
Right,
You
right.
have to be willing to do that. But see, this is the up in the air part. We're up in the air waiting for this ban from 45 to happen, the big baby. I'm going to ban. And now they're saying that if he bans TikTok, this opens the door to ban the other apps that he doesn't
Yes.
like.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the problem.
Legally, the legal channels will be open.
Well, you know what? There are a lot of things going on with governments. Europe just put on that tax for apps, and in the UK and in several other countries, and so the apps, Apple and Google and these other, they're just passing it on to the consumer.
And realize that TikTok, like Tati said earlier, TikTok is still going strong in other countries. It's just
exactly.
India and now the US. Everybody else is good to go. And another thing with your TikTok, if you're here in the US, it's not going to erase from your phone. You just won't be able to update it. That's the key. You can still use TikTok. You won't get the security updates and the new features and whatever.
Which will really expose us, right? Now we can't get any security updates.
Sometimes this whole thing was like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Did you think about that? They did not. They did not. This whole thing is comical if it wasn't so sad.
That's what I said. It's a clown car. It's a clown car. It's funny, but it's not funny because if he gets his way with this band, he's going to take this hammer, this club, this Billy Club he's using, and he's going to beat other apps up with it. So,
the big thing is it starts to chop up the internet. You can have access. This is censored. This is not. What country are you in?
Right. We don't want it. We didn't want to get on this. So tech companies are rightly upset because it's like the big baby. Whenever he gets his focus on something, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to smash that. Hulk smash. That all kind of. It's just a clown car.
It is, and I hate to interrupt, but something else also came to mind that what stops. Okay, Silicon Valley is huge. Obviously, an awful amount of wealth and tech innovation comes out of there. But what if somebody just decides, you know what, I've had it. I think it's time for us to move our operations elsewhere. And they start looking at other places where taxes are not so high, where they're going to be able to operate somewhat in a way autonomously. I'm not saying that there would be a mass exodus. But what if that happens? If people decide that the cost of doing business, which is why, not to get political, but this is why so many in Silicon Valley are for the opponent to the person currently in the White House, because I think they smell the writing on the wall. That didn't make sense, but I like it. They smell the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. It's a slope that is opening the door to Pandora's box, or all kind of things happen, and we don't know. We don't know what will happen. So
we don't.
TikTok is the canary in the mine. That that's the canary in the mine, and also like Dr. Tati said, everything contingents on our vote. So vote. Let's vote, people. Yeah, just vote.
Oh my God.
But vote. So
okay. So where do we go from here?
And that is the end of this week's social media wrap up.
Okay. So
I'm glad you ended on a positive note.
I got one news story that I saw. Okay. Uber here in California they are backing a bill. Proposition 22 here, because California, in their infinite wisdom, wants to make everybody an employee and not independent contractor.
Right.
And so Proposition 22, according to what I've read, is trying to have a happy medium, understanding that the most 41%, no more than that, most of the drivers want to be independent, but they still want to have some benefits and that type of thing. So they're trying to work out something where you get a cross between it, not all of one or all the other. So we're going to see how this goes, because there are talks of Uber moving out of California, going to Texas.
Gotcha.
Rightfully so. I mean, if you got a different law in a different state that benefits your business, why wouldn't you? Here's the other thing. Uber is now renting cars again in the UK, because with the pandemic, people are kind of skeptical about sharing space.
Yeah.
Okay. So now in the US, we tried this, and then we just started allowing rental cars to Uber drivers. It may come back to the US in light of what's going on, depending on how long this goes on. How long has this been going on? Anyway, so you know, Uber's just got a lot of balls in the air, Fred. Depending on
and you know, that whole thing to Texas, they had somebody from the Texas government come to California, courting different companies.
Oh, I'm sure. Came with the big 10-gallon hat and big car and wooed them the hell away.
Yep, because then if California is not paying attention, you know, because our fees are a little pricey for business and stuff like that, I'm like, dude, y'all better pay attention.
It's just like when Tesla said they were going to move. It's like, if we're going to open up, we're out of here. And they were talking Texas.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's like the film and television industry. Yeah, for the most part, the largest part of the film and television industries are still in California. But when it came to finding sites to shoot, that's when Vancouver and British Columbia became really big, and Canada in general. That's when you saw stuff moving to Vegas, Louisiana, Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, because the film incentives were no longer there. So it's like you're taxing people to high hell, and then you're not offering them anything back. So people like, well, it's time to pack it up and move. So you're right. California needs to be very careful.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a great segue into media.
Yeah, Brenna says, have a great day. That she's leaving. She's got some work. So thank you for watching, Brenna.
Bye,
Brenna. So what's happening over there in media?
Lots is going on. I don't think that did we have a chance to, did we talk about Chadwick Boseman last week?
We did.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. It feels like we did, but I don't think we did.
Okay, well, let's talk about him, because he is significant.
Yeah,
very significant. Obviously, most of you probably have heard by now that the actor Chadwick Boseman, who played Jackie Robinson in 42, who played James Brown in Get On Up, and of course his most notable role is T'Challa / Black Panther in Black Panther. He passed away last week at the age of 43 from colon cancer. And this thing is so multi-layered, and I think it was really very sad for a lot of people in a way that hasn't hit us in a long time when it comes to an actor, particularly for communities of color, particularly for Black communities. This was a big thing because he was the first well-recognized or most widely recognized Black superhero. There had been others before, Black Lightning, etc. And of course, Black Panther has been a character since the 1960s. Stan Lee created was one of the creators of Black Panther. And so unless you were a comic book aficionado or a nerd, like me, you didn't really know that. So you only became, most people, let me just say, most Black people probably became familiar with Black Panther when it came out in the movies. That was when they became familiar with it. And that's okay. Marvel brought this wonderful character to light. So Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman were both pivotal to the MCU, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They were at that time, the highest grossing superhero film. I think it was broken by the the next
Avengers
Marvel one that came
Endgame?
out, the Avengers, right? Or
Endgame?
Infinity Wars.
Endgame,
Infinity
Civil
War.
War,
Okay.
Infinity Wars.
right?
One of those.
So
One of those.
one of those broke the rug, but that was because, to be honest, I think it was also because of the excitement around Black Panther.
Yes,
So here's the
yes.
thing: that next one, a whole bunch of Black folk went to go see it. And I said, "Okay, guys, you have to realize this is not Black Panther, okay?
Right.
So
right.
it's going to be very different." So I think that people are, "Oh, this is not Black Panther," but the fact that T'Challa, Black Panther, Dora Milaje, they were all going to be in it. That forced people who would not have gone.
The interest grew, right? The interest,
right? The interest grew. So that's why I say that was really pivotal for Marvel / Disney. It was huge. But just to talk about him as an individual, just a brilliant actor. We were on the campus of Howard University at the same time. He was an undergrad. I was a grad. We never met. We probably crossed paths, but we didn't know each other because he was in fine arts. I was in communication. He was up the hill. I was down the hill. Also, we graduated the same year. He got his undergraduate degree, his BFA, the same year I got my master's. So we were at the same graduation ceremony. So it's just interesting how you cross paths with so many people that you may never meet. The overlap, right? And so Howard University, you know us. Anytime we get a chance to tell you we went to Howard, let me pull up.
I know. Oh, yes.
Exactly. We do that. And we were so proud of him as a son of Howard. He was just wonderful. And so
he was great. He was. Yeah.
It was a particularly sad thing to me as a Howard Bison, as somebody who loves Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who absolutely is a nerd, who loves theater, and theater was where he came out of. So I say to you, Chadwick Boseman, job well done.
Yes.
Wakanda forever, and HU, you know.
Yes.
And one of the stories I heard was that Denzel Washington.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell the story, Terry. I just remember.
Well, I know that he paid for his education, or he was responsible for him going to Howard, I believe it was.
Right.
It was actually, there was a program that was happening in England that a bunch of them were supposed to go to. And Denzel Washington was one of the people who contributed money for them to be able to go to this theater program. So absolutely he did help with his education.
Rashad too?
She's also a Howard Bison. So and she sits on the board of trustees for Howard University. So whenever you have an opportunity to help, that's one thing. And it's not just related to Howard, but there's something about that HBCU experience and being at an HBCU. There's something about it,
Something about it.
Yes, there is. Yep, I went to Fisk, so I'm feeling you over there.
You went to Fisk. You went to South Carolina State, right?
I went to South Carolina State,
and I've had the opportunity to do both. My undergraduate career was at a PWI, which is short for predominantly white institution, but all of my graduate work, master's and PhD, was at Howard. So not only have I attended both, I've also taught at both. I've taught at PWIs and I've taught at HBCUs. I taught at Howard and I taught at Morgan. And then the latest institution I was at was a PWI, but then got a designation as a Hispanic serving institution. So I've taught at all sorts of institutions. And I have to say, from that experience and just watching, and this is no disrespect to any type of institution. They all are great in their own right. There's nothing like the experience you get at an HBCU. There's nothing like it, because culturally, we also tend to have a different approach to community. And I think that factors in to our educational systems and our different systems as well. So this is when people are asking why the big to-do about Chadwick Boseman. That's why. That's why.
And a lot of it, when you go to the HBCU, is that the professors there instill such a sense of like belonging and community and history, and it's just that oneness. It's really hard to explain. It's really hard to explain. But I'm glad I had the experience. I know Tati is too. And Carolina, you went to
Fisk.
one, right?
Fisk.
Fisk. Yeah. Yes. So
Yeah, and
they all bring a
it's
rich
a whole
history.
different thing. And then we bring things. They build accountability in you for your community.
It comes from the professors, from the administration, from the president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's this thing, not to go too far into it, but I feel I would never want to do anything to shame myself so that people were like, you went to Howard, and that Howard people would be ashamed.
A Howard graduate did this and that and that.
I would
This
never.
is what I mean by responsibility and accountability to your community. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And when we come back, we are held accountable to give back.
Oh,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Give back or shut up. That's
built in. And you may not see it on the surface, but it is working.
Yeah, it is. So, just wanted to put that out there. Also, the fact that Chadwick Boseman did a lot in terms of when if we consider what's going on today with the onslaught against African American and just people of African descent in general, and everything is being done to let you know how unworthy you are. Seeing Chadwick Boseman as the arguably the strongest superhero in the MCU does something for the psyche to let you know, yes, I am worthy, especially for Black children. And there have been all sorts of articles. There was an article in Forbes, a bunch of things about explaining this death to children, because it's huge. Families, this was a family affair. That I went to 3 different Black Panther red carpet. I went to go see it when it opened on its own in IMAX because I wanted that experience. Right. My sorority had a red carpet event because that's what we do whenever a Black movie opens. We do a red carpet event. We had that. I then went to go see it in 3D. So I went and I saw it 3 times in 3 different ways, and I just saw the pride of people being dressed up in African attire, people being dressed up in
outfits.
Yes, posting their outfits. And for the first time, you could actually do cosplay and be a character that looked like you. That is huge. Huge. So Chadwick, I can't say enough about you. So.
Yeah, he had a great body of work also, all his films. I saw the James Brown film when they were re-showing clips because I saw it before and I was like, yeah, he was so good as James Brown. He just it came across as like, I'm not watching Chadwick, I'm watching James Brown. So and the Thurgood Marshall, the Jackie Robinson movie. He's got a new one, the latest one, the Five Bloods. I want to see. I heard good things about that. He's even got one coming out on Netflix. They delayed the release. Ma Rainey's Black
Bottom. August Wilson, an adaptation of the August Wilson play. Yeah.
Yes, that was supposed to be released in September, but they've delayed it, I think. And then also, Tachi, what do you think about the talk about the recasting or the not recasting of the role for Black Panther 2?
I don't think they should recast.
It's just too soon. Come on now, guys.
No, but they were supposed to go in production. They're supposed to go in production now. That's why there's talk of it because unfortunately, the series that Marvel has money tied into this. Then they were already in pre-production. They're supposed to go in production, so that's why we're talking about it.
Well, and they're not going to get rid of the character, but
no. Well,
go
ahead.
Hi. Go ahead.
Let's backtrack in terms of this. Now, remember that T'Challa, who was played by Chadwick Boseman, became Black Panther after his father died. Yes. You remember he died in that explosion, and he then became not only king of Wakanda, but also Black Panther.
Right.
In the comic book, the next Black Panther is actually his sister, Shuri. So there are a couple of different things they could do. They could go that way.
They could stick with the comic book story, the theme.
Exactly. And go that way and have Shuri be the next Black Panther.
Yeah.
They could also I've seen a bunch of things on the interwebs, on the internet in terms of what can happen. Lots of speculation. Also the fact that Saturday when we had our show in honor of Chadwick Boseman, one of the panelists said, I'm wondering if he actually said something to Marvel and they have pre-shot some scenes in anticipation of this.
Wow.
That could be something as well. We don't know.
We don't know.
So Marvel has this thing about doing stuff and not telling the other actors.
Yes.
They will do some stuff and nobody else knows what was going on. So they very well could have done that.
Yes.
That's how we didn't know what was happening in Endgame or Xfinity Wars. Everybody did not know what everybody else was shooting.
Right.
That's the less likely that there will be a leak. The less people that know, the better for the film, the anticipation in the film. Right. So there are a lot of so Terry, you're right. There are even articles. I read an article in Forbes again that talked about that. Well, so what happens now?
Yeah, because there was ongoing production or pre-production now. So and there's and a lot of people like Terry said, they were saying like don't recast, don't do this, don't do that. But you know, it's Marvel's baby.
Yes,
so
I'm in my feelings now.
But they are there too.
Yes,
they the whole Marvel did a whole little. They did something on Twitter, and I think they're going to do it right. They're not. I don't think they're going to mess this up.
You have to understand. People have to understand how invested fans of comic books and sci-fi are in their characters. This is why you have so many fan films. This is why people are all up in arms when there's a change in something on Twitter, etc. Most of the time, it's like that doesn't matter because they're going to do what they want anyway. But because of the freshness of this and the propensity to really turn off fans and not make the money that they would make otherwise, they're going to do this one right. It's a money thing. I think it's also a homage to Chadwick Boseman and doing Black Panther right, but it's also a money thing. Let's be clear about that.
It is a business. It is a corporation. It is a business. So that's why, you know, I read the stories and they were like, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, well, you guys don't get to make the decision. Marvel makes the decision.
They'll give two damns what you think.
As a fan, you have to trust the process until you get more information. Don't just I understand, you know, everyone's emotions are high and but let it settle down and then they'll make the right decision because that's what they do.
And then when Stan Lee wrote all of this, they tried to stay true to what was going on. You understand what I mean? Okay. They did a really good job, and I think that is also partly because of the director that they brought in for the Black Panther movie.
Ryan Coogler.
Right. It was and he's from Sacramento, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Date. Okay. It was well done. You know what I'm saying? They incorporated Oakland and all of these other things into that movie. I was like, man, this is a good movie. It was very well done and shows us in a very good light.
Yes, that was the thing. The theme I kept hearing about was all of his roles were showing Black life, Black culture in a more positive light. Not to say that anybody like Denzel or anyone, you know, doing training that was hard, but it's always been, you know, the role for a Black man was always the pimp, the this, the that, and his roles were not that. So that's another part of his body. That's what I was saying about his body of work. It will stand the test of time. He did so many films in a short. He did so many films in a short amount of time. I was amazed. I was like, wow. I think people are still, you know, getting the fact that he was ill, but still working, and he would, you know, have the treatment and the surgery. Clark Peters, one of the actors on The Five Bloods, was saying that he told his wife, like, oh, you know, he's so, you know, precious because he's got a Chinese osteopath and someone massaging his feet and someone doing this and someone doing that. And he was like, he was so upset because he thought at the time that he was being a Hollywood pretentious person, when in fact all of those things were needed for him to do the role. But now he
Exactly.
realized now after the fact. But see, that's another thing. You cannot judge what's going on in someone's
You don't
life.
know what people are going through.
Don't do that. And you'll find out at the end that, oh, I thought this, but I was wrong. So all of those things that he were doing that looks like some Hollywood
Prima donna.
prima donna, yeah, those were things that was keeping him going. Health.
That's why just keep quiet.
Yes.
Nobody asked you.
Yes.
So,
all right.
So really
Great.
quickly, I have I have a couple
Right.
of other stories to talk about. Obviously, that was a big one. But speaking of superheroes and Marvel, if you are into the Umbrella Academy, of course, the second season is back on Netflix, and they actually topped the most watched streaming shows.
Really?
Yeah. They watched more than 3 billion minutes of the Netflix original series, The Umbrella Academy, in the first full week of August.
Because
What is the series about? A little bit, just a little bit.
I think they're superheroes, but they're underrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were all raised in the same house by this one man, which is kind of like,
yeah.
It is. So now I'm gonna watch it this weekend because I did put in my saved.
Okay.
I got this. I watch certain things on certain days, and I was like, let me put that over there.
It's really very good. So if you are into that type of thing, check out the Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Also, let's talk about Facebook Watch. Why? But let's talk about it anyway. So Facebook Watch, Master of None, has topped 100, according to them, has topped 1.25 billion monthly viewers, and they're doing this because they want to, make a big deal of it because they want to continue to challenge YouTube, right? So Facebook Watch at this point is now 2 years old. It's and according to them, according to Variety, it has attracted 1.25 billion users each month. Most of those views are from Red Table Talk, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Although there are other things on there.
Yes.
So it's actually a large chunk of Facebook's monthly active user base of 2.7 billion. Actually, but here's the thing. Here's the caveat. A viewer can be anyone who watches as little as 1 minute of video. Okay. So what is the quality of those views? I think that's for anything. That's not just for Facebook Watch. But if you watch something for 1 minute, we have XYZ views. But have you even gotten into the meat of what is what in 1 minute? Maybe not. So, those are the things to look at when we talk about numbers, which is why, incidentally, they're measuring this in terms of minutes watched rather than viewers, right? So,
Right. Because before, I think there was a 3 second view.
3 second view. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But minutes is probably a better metric than.
Absolutely. Because a 3 second view will grossly inflate your numbers. A lot of people can get 3 second views, right? But you have to look at it. Takes at least 30 seconds to get into the gist of something, right? A minute to decide whether or not you're going to stay to watch. Exactly. So that's probably where that minute came from. It's not really arbitrary. That's something that has been studied. So in any case, moving on, the BBC, as the British Broadcasting Corporation, is looking to cut 900 jobs. Yeah. So there, Davey, who is the new general manager, basically is his position, is looking to cut 900 and outline priorities to renew BBC's commitment to impartiality, focusing on, quote, unique high impact content. This is according to the Hollywood Reporter. That's a lot of jobs.
As long as that they don't kill Death in Paradise, I'm gonna be all good.
You're like, I don't give a damn what they do. Just don't take off Death in Paradise. And I do like Death in Paradise, so I understand. Let's see. One more. Let's do one more. Hold on, I'm waiting for it to.
Mhm.
It's cycling for some reason.
No,
That's why I like to write out my notes rather than rely on the actual
Right.
article. But
Right.
this week I
do
did
that
not.
too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Okay.
That's why I need an
Yeah.
intern. Anyway, HBO has kicked off virtual reality extravaganza to promote Lovecraft Country. You all have been hearing about Lovecraft Country, right?
No.
I think I have. I think I heard a little bit about it. It's like a supernatural show or something.
Yeah, it's Lovecraft. It's a television show, right? And it's a series, Lovecraft Country. Don't ask me a whole lot about it because I have not viewed it yet.
I'm trying to figure out from the trailer. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. So.
Apparently, it's a huge deal, and so they've kicked off a VR extravaganza to promote this. So they are hosting 100 influencers for a series of virtual reality events consisting of immersive theater, which I love, escape rooms, art installations, puzzles, and a live concert to promote Lovecraft Country. By the way, Lovecraft Country, this is a big thing. It's Jordan Peele.
Oh,
Jordan Peele is at the helm of this. Yes. So I am not a horror fan at all.
I'm not.
So
yeah.
I tend not to pay attention to these things. Especially now, this is Jordan Peele's like third horror thing. It's a great, because he does great work, but I'm not a horror fan.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not trying to be doing all that weirdo stuff and people getting hacked.
This is why I don't add no clue what you guys are talking about. Okay.
Yeah. So they're saying the genre is drama, supernatural horror. So,
right. So is Jordan Peele the one that does Twilight?
Get Out.
Yes, he does the Twilight Zone on CBS. All that. He did Get Out. He did Us. Yeah.
Weird. I was like, okay, I can do Frankenstein, Dracula,
stuff that you know is not for real. Fiction, you could do fiction, but when it gets too close,
I'm not a horror fan.
He went to Howard Puppet. that's too close to home. You know.
Yeah, I'm not a horror fan, so.
Not at all. So that's what I have for you today. An awful lot of stuff going on, television wise. There is one other thing that I forgot to let you know. Coming soon, there will be an over-the-top channel. I talked about this on Wednesday called View It, VUIT. And it is going to be an over-the-top network, a streaming network of 200 channels for right now that offers live local content. So it will be all live local channels, basically. Okay. So I don't know which, it's going to be ad supported. I don't know which networks are going to be on there yet. I don't think they've released the roster of who, but I think it's kind of cool. It will be available on Roku, on Amazon Fire TV. I'm guessing also Amazon Fire Stick as well. So these over-the-top platforms that you'll be able to watch.
Is that going to be a subscription?
Good question. I did not find anywhere anything about a subscription fee. That does not mean no, but right now, because it's ad supported, I'm guessing that they're going to try and keep it free as it would be if you were watching local TV.
And I think this is good because trying to do local TV when you doing it through YouTube TV, it's going to cost you too much. And then if you can get it on your Roku and get your local channel, $5 a month or whatever, then you don't have to hassle with the antenna and you keep moving the antenna out trying to get a.
Well, Roku does have live TV, so I'm wondering if they'll just.
No, this is local. Live.
Local. Right. So here's the way it works with local television stations. There's carriage agreements. And simply because you are in a certain market does not mean the local channels have to agree to be carried by your service. That is a separate agreement that you work out with them separately. So often it comes down to, with the local station, what percentage of the ad money or the fees are we going to get? And so this is why you could have a streaming service like a Sling or whatever and not have all your local channels. I only have one local channel on my Sling. That would be NBC. That means the local NBC affiliate was the only local station that has a carriage agreement with Sling in this market.
Right. And
Okay, right.
and then the rest of it, if you want local, you can get it for free, but you got to have an antenna.
Yeah.
That's how I get my other local channels via
Right.
via antenna. So yeah, is it annoying to me? No, not that much, because it's more annoying to pay for cable to get that. So I'm good, but hopefully this will give you access to some more of your local channels, providing all the carriage agreements, and then it'll be cool to see local programming in other markets as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is good. Yeah, they got weird stuff, and I've been watching Peacock lately, and I'm like,
Oh,
but it's a lot of rerun.
Yes. Yes.
It's just reruns.
It's you can't, if you missed the Today Show, you can watch it at night. Or if you missed America's Got Talent, you can watch it on Friday instead of Tuesday.
oh,
It's kind of like Hulu.
Mhm.
It's kind of like Hulu.
Mhm.
That's nice, but
but it's for NBC.
Yeah, ABC.
Yeah.
Sports
I
highlights.
mean, that's nice.
Rachel Maddow show, stuff like that. Things
like
that you missed.
Right, because you also have MSNBC there. NBC
Right.
had Bravo is also part of NBC
Right.
Universal. So yeah, you get there are some channels that you get.
I would say
Peacock. Is Peacock still free?
Peacock.
Okay, no, see, Peacock is free. Okay, so Terry, you have Xfinity, the large plan. They can give you a Peacock edition for free. Flex. It's called Flex. They will give that to you for free. Now everybody else might have to pay, but we get it.
You know what? From
Xfinity.
I need to look, because I think that the ad-supported version of Peacock is supposed to be free for most people, but I have to look into it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would say Peacock is things that you missed. If you missed it, watch it now. That's what I would call Peacock.
And I like that convenience. That's why it was appealing to me, as y'all talked about. I was like, oh, more convenient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, because like I wanted to watch some stuff because everybody has got their own little app right now. So ABC, if I wanted to go watch something like Blackish or whatever, now I got to go over to Hulu to get it, or which comes with the Disney bundle.
Yes.
Then I can go over there and watch that. But Peacock over here, and then CBS is over there, and I'm like, can we all just get along?
Which is why I was looking at those apps to control all of that foolishness.
Well, if you're a fan of NBC programming, then Peacock is for you.
Right.
Yeah, I think the operative thing is that we have a lot of choice now. So even for me, even though it seems like I don't want people to win when I talk about these entities, because I can totally see how it looks like it. But I really think I do want all of this, because that increases competition, which makes it better for the consumer. So I'm all about that. I'm all about choice, because I don't want to go back to the days where, well, you just have to watch what we tell you.
Yeah. You don't want that.
When we tell you to watch it.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
And what I like about this too is that you can get it to go.
Yes.
Exactly.
You can take it with you. You don't have to be posted up at home to see your show.
Oh yeah, that whole thing is that concept. I remember probably about 10 years ago now at NatP, because I've been going to NatP since 2009. So the first year I was there, no, the second year I was there, because it was like 2010, they were talking about this whole concept of TV everywhere. That was the huge thing, right? So even the whole concept now of over the top, the OTT, that was a big thing, but you don't hear it as much anymore because it's just assumed. So this whole concept of TV everywhere, where you can get, take your TV on any device. That was a big thing 10 years ago, right? Because it wasn't really being done. Now you expect to be able to pick up XYZ on your phone or your tablet when you're away. You expect that. So it's interesting how as these different technologies become part not only of our lexicon, but of our everyday lives, that it's not such a big deal anymore. So that whole concept of TV everywhere has gone because, damn it, you're supposed to be everywhere, right? So.
Yep.
Right.
And we'll be pitching it if we don't have it everywhere. Hey, how come I can't get this?
Exactly.
Agreed.
Because at one point there was a couple of people you couldn't get Xfinity on your mobile device or DirecTV, and I was like, hold on, this is not normal. And that was a few years ago, but now they've made the switch because that really did not make sense.
No, I mean, again, companies really have to be prodded often into making change unless you have someone at the helm that is very forward thinking and is a futurist and can see the promise and what's coming. You have to be a futurist. You really do. But often the people there are not predictive. Often you have people that are, maybe business people, maybe work. So you have to be very intuitive or have people around you that are futurists so that you can have an idea of what's next, what's coming next. That's the only thing that works. You have to know what's coming next.
Yeah, you have to know what's coming next.
That's why you watch Biz Chicks, Tech Life Weekly.
Yes.
And why you tune into Tachi's program over there
on Mediascope.
Because I know that's where I heard about Bosman. You were talking about him.
Yes. Don't all the shows just kind of merge together at some point? That's why I was like, I said, did we talk about? But I said, no, because he passed away. I heard about that Friday night.
Right, Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's why you can tune in on Tuesdays with TJ online everywhere to learn about social media. So there's a well-rounded, you can come here.
We're covering all the bases, people. We're covering all the bases.
First Mondays is coming up. Do you want to talk about that, Fran?
First Mondays is where we gather together and celebrate women in business, or could be guys in business too. Tech dudes, biz dudes too. So come. We're going to have a speaker. Linda Nance will be with us. Gotta be handmade, all the way from South Carolina.
South
Carolina. And so she'll be with us, and we're just gonna have a talk with her about what's coming up for the rest of the year, because Christmas is coming.
They're getting ready now.
Yep,
you get ready now.
You cannot wait till November to try and do Christmas. So she's going to talk with us. And
you want your packages delivered.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Let's not talk about the.
Yeah. All
right.
There's just a lot of stuff that could be interesting by then.
Right.
You don't even know if your post office box is going to still be there. So anyway, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. No.
I want you to tune in Monday.
At 4 p.m. Pacific time, so that people on the East Coast can join us. And we're looking at, if you'd like to be a presenter on the First Monday event, let us know, because we're looking to have different perspectives and different business owners talk about what they do.
Yeah.
And share their knowledge, expertise. That's what we want. So First Monday, every first Monday, 4 p.m. right here.
How you doing, Southern Sweets? Southern Sweets just tuned in. We want you to know, if you want to join Biz Chicks, you can text Biz to 33777. We'd love to have you become a part of our community and a part of Biz Chicks. Now, with that, we want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Follow everybody here. We got TJ online. We got Mediascope. We got Biz Chicks. We're looking forward to hearing from all of you. We love you, and we'll see you Monday for Coffee, Tea, Thoughts, and Conversations at 8 a.m. Pacific time. With that, Have a great day, and don't forget to go to the front of your own line.